Wasn't giving her the attention she needed. Was living with my ex-GF whom I was with for 3 years. She was working while I just started university. There was some miscommunication between my uni and the program that was funding my schooling, and the program covered my books and tuition but didn't not cover a living allowance. I didn't want her to be on the hook for all the costs of living, so I got a part-time job picking up as many shifts as I could, evenings and weekends, until the funding situation was straightened out. So between waking up at 5 in the morning to get ready for uni and catch the city bus to make to school in time, and immediately coming home, change into my work clothes, head out the door and working till 11 at night, plus still having to do uni homework after my work shift, so needless to say I was a tad busy. I knew this situation was temporary and told her as much, that we would have more time together once this funding thing was straightened out. I didn't not work every day after uni cause I did want to spend time with her. She was my best friend and I thought everything was going great considering the tight schedule. Having been run ragged for 3 months, the funding situation was finally straightened out and I received back pay for the months that were missed, and I immediately went to the office of our apartment building and paid 3 months rent in advance to alleviate the financial pressure we had, and also so we would have more time together. That same week when I paid the advanced rent, I was scheduled to work that weekend, and since I didn't want to leave my coworkers high and dry, I took the shifts, but I knew I was going to take less shifts after that weekend. Since I was working, the ex-GF said was gonna go out with a couple of her coworkers and have a girls' night. I was fine with that since I was going to be busy anyway. We hadn't had sex in a couple weeks, 1 week due to her time of the month and the other week, person shrugging, we just didn't. So I figured we would fool around before she left, just so we would part ways for the evening on a high note. As we were laying in bed talking, caressing, I started the foreplay, which was the usual initiation that lead to sex. As I placed my hand down her pants, she stopped me before I touched her, but it was far enough down to feel that she had freshly shaven down there. I like my woman with some hair down there, which she always had with me. I asked her why she shaved and she responded with, "I dunno, just wanted to." I could always tell when she was lying, and I knew at that point she was lying, and told her, "You aren't going to some girl's night out, are you?" She reiterated that she was, but I knew different, so she left and I was left with my thoughts at home trying to sleep for work the next day. The next day I texted her the usual good morning text, to which she didn't reply. I went to work with my head still swimming and texting her periodically throughout the day, all of which were ignored. This all but confirmed my suspicions. I finally just texted, "We need to talk," and left it at that. She left Friday evening and didn't come home till Monday afternoon. We finally were face to face and I flat out said, "How long have you been cheating on me?" She said she was with a guy over the weekend but they didn't sleep together. Yeah, fucking right, tears of joy. I asked her, "How could do this to me?" She said, "'Cause how busy you have been, you haven't been giving me the attention I need, and he had." I told her that we were done, but I said I wasn't moving out until I got my money back. Remember the 3 months in advance rent pay? The apartment lease was in her name, so I knew I would have to be the one to go. As anger and depression set in and I completely stopped going to uni and work and started drinking heavily. I tried to the cohabitating thing for a week and a half, but I started drinking heavily and it was out of control. I was only hurting myself, so I knew I had to get out of that fucked up. The next day I called my brother to come get me and my belongings, and I asked her to pay me back eventually, that it doesn't have to be all at once. I knew I wouldn't see a dime back, which I haven't, but that's not the part that chaps my ass. It's the fact that she was living in a place that was paid for by me and she could now freely bring Buddy there whenever she wanted is what gets me. Lol, I had to move back to my mom's place and start my life over again. Which I have, and also met a great girl whom I have been with for 7 years now, and she is the best thing that has ever happened to me. It sucks, but it gets better with time, folks. The ex-GF is a drug-addicted single mother now. Seriously. So karma is motherfucker. TLDR. Tried balancing university, work and a girlfriend of 3 years and got cheated on for not giving her attention.